Hello, sports fans and adventure fans. You and I are going on an adventure. We're going to be within about 10 miles of my property here near Kingman, Arizona. It's actually called Golden Valley. And we're going to be checking out some rocky roads, off-road trails, sandy washes, going exploring the mountains and the cliffs and the hills over here, just you and me. So I'm Ralph Luck. I've been full-time in my Class C RV here for over 4 years. Welcome to RVing with Luck. Now let's get going. Okay, I didn't record the first part of this, but it was me putting my Jeep in four-wheel drive and coming up a pretty rough road. There was only one part that really positively needed four-wheel drive, but now as you can see here, that's definitely a rocky, choppy road that needs four-wheel drive. And right about there is what looks like a waterfall coming from a hole in the mountain. It looks like I could get right up there as long as I'm able to make it up this road. So here we go. All right, just passed two older gentlemen with their what do you call those? Oh, metal detectors. And they said there's a bunch of donkeys out here. Of course, there's a bunch of donkeys on my property. Anyway, he did say that that's a waterfall. I don't know if the water's working, but it looks like we could go down almost to the base of that little hill, and once we slow crawl down this, we'll see what we can see. Well, spotted two donkeys. I've only seen a white donkey like that one other time on my property. That was only a few weeks back. The other one's brown and white. Almost looks like a cow with the coloring, but those are both, I'm sorry, burros. They're not donkeys, they're burros. Well, looks like this is end of the road. Unfortunately, I can't see the waterfalls. If I hiked over that ridge, I probably could, but I'm in tennis shoes. I didn't bring my regular desert walking shoes or boots. We'll have to maybe save this for another day. And here's pretty much the way we came in. You can see where the road gets narrower and then gets wide again where those buildings are. And several miles down past that, going east here, is where I got on this road. So let's get heading back. We might take it one more trail, see if it leads anywhere, and if not, we'll call it a day. So I did make a left turn a couple hundred yards down. Gonna see how far we can get down this road. My goal is see if we can see if there's any water running off that waterfall. I can't wait to come back here with the drone. Well, let's walk down here a bit. Looks like there's a wash at the bottom of this, and if I go left on the wash, it might take me up, but I don't know if we could get through this, so let's go take a look. I don't know. A lot of rocks, but when I get down to that wash, that's where it looks like we could take a left and head on back a ways. Let me think about this. Well, I think I'm going to go for it. Looks like when I get to the wash, even if I can't get back up this way, because let's say the rocks are loose, I could keep going straight down this. But like I said, it looks like I should be able to get down this and make it to the wash, and we'll head left and see how close we can get. I am going to put this in too low. That way the gear ratio is set for nice and slow going. Help me go down those rocks nice and slow without having to be on the brake the whole time. Nope, I don't think I'm taking a chance going down the wash here. If I had another vehicle with me, I might chance it, but just a little too rocky for me there. So we're going to head up here. There is a road that goes to the left, and we'll see how far that goes. Got another burrow. He's just disappearing there. Not sure what that was, but it did have some gravel from this rocky road to it. You know, like somebody actually brought in some decent sized rock gravel. That could have been 100 years ago. Over here, we've got some rocks lined up, like maybe a wall, some more wood, and a whole bunch of tires. So that's definitely not a structure. Looks like dozens of pallets. Well, I think this is as close as we're getting. Looks like there's actually a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 places where water comes down. Thought that one there might be water, where the black stuff is, but no, it's probably just the one that runs the most. Like to get a drone up peeking inside those. So let's get going down here, see if we can get out. It did get us a little closer. That'd be a great canyon to have the drone going zipping around, and breathtaking views. Well, now I just turned the vehicle a little to the right and see if this road would take us to a road. Looks like that we could go right down and get out of here. All right. Now we're going to be going down that way. Doesn't look like anyone's been here for about 100 years. I'm sure that's not right, but definitely not a frequently traveled road. So we're going to try to make it over to that kind of clear spot on the left. See what this wash looks like that could take us to where water could be. All right, hopefully up here on the left we'll be able to make a turn, get back over here. Those are like, I don't know, telephone poles. Some wood over there. Definitely a man-made structure there. In the distance you can see what looks like could be an old house or wall, but see how far up here we can go. Not sure what that was. It almost looks like a structure. Then over here we do have two sides of what I'm assuming was a four-sided shelter storage shed. Gonna get a little closer to that, but then we're gonna try and go straight up that way. A lot of wood over there. A rock here. Bunch of rocks. And there's concrete in between there. Oh, that's new. Some wood over there, and maybe something was over there. Now, how in the world does somebody get a tractor tire up there? We're going to keep on going down this way. Check out that rock wall. You'll see here. Somebody spent some time making that. Whoa, definitely not getting past that. So let's see what we got up ahead. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot more, but there's a potential for one option. So here's what's on the other side. Sorry about that window mess. On the other side of that rock wall. Nothing. Lots of cholla cactus though. And a beautiful view. And yet another tractor tire. Check out the beautiful view. Up here towards the left is where those waterfalls were. We're kind of on the other side now. Beautiful cliffs. Well, you'd almost say I lost the trail. But I think it picks up right there. Definitely not a well-traveled route. We can get down by that big old house in the distance. We should be fine. Well, doesn't look like we can go any more east. This is a pathway that actually has a name. I think it's Hopi Road. We're going to make a right, heading back down south. Looks like we should have it a little bit easier here to put back into 4 high. Well, little change of plans. I'm not going to go down through that washing up the hill. I could, but it looks like right here on the left is a road that should get me down towards where a storage shed is, or a little tiny home, and a more decent road. About a quarter mile away. So there's what I called the tiny home. It's probably actually pre-made shed, but it's got lights and solar panel on that front door, boarded up windows part way, and out here in Mojave County, you could put, I've seen different things. Some say 200, some say 300, but mostly I see 200 square feet or less. You don't need a building permit. Problem is, you can put that up as a storage shed, but not a residential structure. You cannot live in it. But from looking at the RV trailer over there, with a wooden front door and boarded up windows. Did someone say burrows? Oh, those running up are making noise. 3 just came and joined the 2. They're all looking at me and making some noise. Hee-haw. Kind of headed this way. See, who knows needs to go to Oatman, Arizona to see burros? Hey, burros. Don't worry, I'm making a right, heading out of here. Thought I'd interrupt this video for a very important message. When I'm out here, I do have a spare jack, lug wrench, air compressor, and a winch, and a shovel. All things that might help me get out, depending on the situation. My biggest concern out here is getting a punctured tire, and then in some terrible situation having to try to jack up that tire and put on the spare. I do also have my emergency backpack, which has a pretty decent medical kit for minor boo-boos and even some major trauma and bleeding. I also have a gallon of water, some food, some snacks, and like a cup of soup, and got a knife, a machete, 550 cord, all kinds of goodies. It's my get home bag. We're making a right turn, heading south. Hopefully right on the ledge there just below the hill is a more decent road. So it doesn't look like we have too much more to cover before getting on a semi-main road. To let you know, this little dirt path here actually has a road name. That's how it is out here. All right, just popped up on this road, which is the road I came in on. And looks like we got smooth sailing. A little bumpy road, keep it in four-wheel drive. And once we get to those houses in the distance, somewhere up there I'll be making a right and heading back to Luck Ranch. All right, we've made it. So that's the conclusion there. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you want to get alerts anytime I post a video, please subscribe. Thank you, yes you, for joining me on this fun adventure. More to follow for sure.